Hey everybody, I'm Walter Williams, and I am a book writer. I published two books, and I want to recommend these books to everybody out there. The first book that I had published is called The Emmett Till Story. It is called Standing Up for Justice, The Emmett Till Murder Trial. And this is the cover of the book that you can see. And for people who is not familiar with the Emmett Till story, Emmett Till was a 14-year-old boy who lived in Chicago in 1955, and he went to Mississippi on vacation for the summer to visit his grandfather. And back in the 50s, especially in the South in Mississippi, there was a lot of racism going on. I mean, it was very horrific what was going on to black people back then. And Emmett Till was from the North, so he was a little bit naive about how things went on in the South, even though his mom kind of coached him and told him what to look forward to when racism is concerned, how to deal with white people. And she went over this with him. But he did go down there and he was accused of whistling at some white woman. And the husband of the white woman found out about it, and his brother-in-law, and they went looking for Emmett Till. And Emmett Till was staying with his grandfather. They went to the house, dragged Emmett Till out of the house, and they beat him, they shot him, and they threw his body into the river. And it took about a couple of weeks before they found his body. And his body, when they pulled it out, it didn't even look human. It was unrecognizable. And the only way that his mother knew that it was Emmett Till, because of a ring that he had on his finger, and it had his initials. That's the only way that she knew it was him, because his face, it didn't even, like I said before, it didn't look human. What they did to this young man was shameful. And they went to court and they got away with it. Just like what's happening now. You know, with unarmed black men being shot down in the street. And it really all started from Emmett Till. And they got away with it, and there was no justice for Emmett Till. They lied on Emmett Till. They said that he was a grown man, which he wasn't, and that he, made advances to this woman. And they didn't even care that he was only 14 years old, So I wrote a book about it. I did a year of research. I read a lot of things about the story, and I was inspired to write this book about Emmett Till. And what I liked about this book that I wrote is that this happened many, many years ago. And this is still going on with black people, with young black men especially. So this book resonates with me, and it should with a lot of other people out there. And it actually got 4 stars, and that's the highest you can get customer review. And I also went to book signings and a lot of places to promote the book. And everybody that I talked to loved the book, enjoyed the book. I had a woman and she was a Caucasian lady, who read the book, and she said that after she read it, she cried. She said she had no idea that, these type of things happen back then to black people. which I kind of found hard to believe, but that's what she told me. But a lot of people read the book. They said it's a little graphic, which it is graphic because I didn't want to water down this book at all. I didn't want to water down the story. A lot of the N word is used because that's what they called us back then. And it's like I said, it's graphic what they do to him, the way they tortured him, and it's all in the book, and it's real. It's what occurred back then, and I don't hold no punches on the story. I didn't dilute it to make people feel comfortable, because it would take a lot away from the story if I did that. So I wanted just to tell the truth and just give it to you the way it really actually went down. And you can go on Amazon, you can go on Barnes and Nobles, you can go online and get this book. It's $10. It's an easy read, and I really recommend this book to the young black youth that is out there today. I think this is something that they need to read to understand that these type of things isn't just happening now, but they've been happening for many years, and it hasn't stopped. The way black young men are treated is just very shameful. And instead of us going around shooting each other and disrespecting each other, we need to come together and respect each other, because a lot of people don't respect us, but we need to respect each other. And to me, that is the moral of this Emmett Till story, that you see what they're doing to us. So that should make us come together and stop all this nonsense of violence on each other, because this is serious. So I recommend this book, and I will say this, even if I didn't write this book, I would still recommend it, because it's a good story, it's a good read, and it's a true story. Something that actually happened, in our history. And I think it's important for a lot of black people to know about this story. The ones that don't know, they need to know about this story, because it's really important. It happened 50-something years ago, and people are still talking about this story of Emmett Till. That's how important this story is. So I recommend it highly. That's one of the books. I actually had 2 books published. And the second book I had published is totally different from Emmett Till. And this book is called Demon Hunter. And I wrote this way back in 1995. And it's a science fiction, horror type book. It's about a black superhero named Marcus Outcast, who is a former boxer, and demons are taking over the world. And he has been handpicked by God to fight these demons and get rid of them. And the sword that he has is a sword that been around since Jesus been walking the earth. And when he was being crucified on the cross, his blood spilled on this sword, making it a spiritual sword that is made for killing dark entities, demons. And If you're familiar with Blade, who is a vampire hunter, well, there's some similarities with this character. Instead of him killing vampires, he goes after demons. And it's a book that I recommend because it's a black hero who fight evil, and it's a book about good versus evil, and it's also very violent as well. When I write, I'm very graphic about details of my books, and there's a lot of blood, and if you like a lot of action, you like a lot of gore, this book definitely provides that. So I recommend this book as well as Standing Up for Justice. And you can go on Amazon, you can go online, you can go on Barnes and Nobles, and buy this book. It is 300 pages. It's $20. It's also a good read, and it also got 4 stars customer review as well. And a lot of people that read this book couldn't put it down. But if you like action, you like horror, you like science fiction, this book has all that wrapped up in one. So I highly recommend this to you as well. So that's it for me. But like I said, Standing Up for Justice, the Emmett Till murder trial, and Marcus Outcast, Demon Hunter. I highly recommend it. Get it. You will enjoy it. I promise you. And thanks for listening.